Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing. This is the Mixed Championship on Project Cars 2. This is round 6, race 1, Donington Park Grand Prix circuit in the LMP3 cars. Unfortunately, there's only a few of us here this time, but TY's on pole from Neil, and we're off! Stevie and Blaney with fantastic starts as they hurtle down towards turn 1, in towards Redgate. Blaney's on the inside of Neil, tiny bit of contact there, everyone else gets away with it, I think. Arsadar played pretty wide, Cyrex looking for a way through, Bidzster and Cyrex contact, Bidzster's on the grass, and so's TY as we go down the hill. TY's on the grass, going down the crane of curves, he's going to rejoin here somewhere, and so we've got Stevie in the lead. As the camera goes funny there as we try and change cameras. Arsadar Blade there in 4th place, so it's Stevie in the lead from Blaney, and Neil and Arsadar. There's Arsadar and Neil looking around the outside of Blaney, no way through there as we look further back. Bidster and Cyrex close together, in fact they're side by side coming up towards Coppice. Cyrex is ahead, Bidster at the back of the field in this one. Quite a few, oh, and we've got a car off, Arsadar Blade's on the gravel in the back of the Coppice, oh no. Arsadar Blade goes right to the back, so Stevie in the lead, Neil looking at the inside of Blaney in towards the chicane. No way through there, Blaney gives him space, there go the marker boards flying as they come down now towards the Melbourne Loop. Neil looks out up the inside, Neil goes for the dive up the inside in the Ginetta. And beautiful move there, Neil, for Team White, up the inside into 2nd place. Beautiful job there as we've got Jamo and TY battling it out for 4th place there into Goddard's. Very tricky downhill, left-hander. And onto the straight, that's lap 1 done. And we've got Blaney coming over the line with Neil, I think that's with Jamo, sorry. Jamo in the Ligier. And TY looking up the inside of him as well, ganging up on him. Cyrex is close as well, as Jamo keeps the position around the outside of TY and then tries to go for Blaney as well. So contact down the crane of curves, and how they all got away with that I do not know. TY just avoids everyone else onto the curb, very lucky to get away with that. So TY falls back and he might be vulnerable to Cyrex here as we have a look through here. Jamo's closing up to him, and then we look at TY and the camera resets itself. Oh, and Cyrex round the outside of TY round McLean's. Oh, fantastic move. We'll get a replay on that, see how he did it. Way on board with Cyrex. So have a look at how we went around the outside of TY, just finds the grip. And then we'll see TY in the mirror there, and then beautiful move there from Cyrex. Here's a replay on board with TY to have a look at the move that Cyrex made. So you see we're on the inside, and there he goes, just right round the outside of us. Fantastic move there from Cyrex. So as we continue then, we've got this line, the streamer cars. Bidster back in 7th place. Jamo looking towards the inside of Blaney to take 3rd place, and does so at the chicane. Blaney's now vulnerable to Cyrex, who's going to try and go around the outside of another person. Fantastic stuff. Cyrex on the grass. Blaney tries to give him the squeeze, but no, and then into the brakes. Blaney's on the inside. Cyrex goes wide round the outside, and Bidster as well. Bidster going around the outside. He's saying, oh, I'll take a leaf out of Cyrex's book. I'll go around the outside as well, and it's worked. Up towards Goddard's. He's up the inside of Blaney and TY. Fantastic stuff, hugs the inside, and brilliant stuff there, flashes lights, a little thank you to Blaney, and also a little reminder to the guys in front, I'm on my way. So Jamo defends from Cyrex into Redgate, Bidster up to 5th place, Blaney and TY back down to 6th and 7th. Reason why we've got a few people less is because we've quite a few people hooked up with work or family commitments, so it just so happens that there's only 8 on today as Bidster very sideways down the crane of curve there, pushing that Ginetta for all it's worth. Meanwhile up front, Stevie's being caught by Neil. Stevie and Neil, here they are. Stevie in front in the red car for Team Red, Neil for Team White. Stevie and Azad are the only two teammates that have actually been able to make it. So Footman unfortunately has injured himself, he's on bed rest at the minute, so he'll be back fighting in the next championship, hopefully. As Stevie defends from Neil into the chicane. Very close stuff. To come down towards the Melbourne Loop. Will Stevie defend, or will Neil go for the move? Stevie's not defending enough. Neil goes up the inside. And will he outbrake himself, or will he get the... Oh, he gets the car stopped. Beautiful move there by Neil. Stevie demoted back down to 2nd place. Meanwhile, Jamo and Cyrex still battling at it. Cyrex is going around the outside of Jamo at the Melbourne hairpin, and he's got the run up towards Goddard's on the inside. Oh, we came to that a bit late, but still, Cyrex round the outside of the Melbourne Loop. You'd never see that done. Fantastic stuff from SHAREx, really comfortable with that car. We'll get another replay on another fantastic outside move from SHAREx. Okay, here's a replay of how SHAREx went around the outside of Jamo, so we look at it a bit earlier this time. SHAREx just plants his car on the outside, brilliant on the brakes, just so confident in finding the grip, and then carries enough speed on the inside to then get Jamo under braking for Goddard's. Fantastic move, and then a little drift at the end just to seal the deal. So as we come back, SHAREx into third place after two dramatic moves around the outside of people. Fantastic stuff. Doesn't get any better than that. As we look in the background, Bidzster and TY together. Now these are two old horses in this group. They are very good racers, and they fight tooth and nail every time. Bidzster just in front, doesn't look like he's got the pace to keep TY behind at the minute. He's defending. TY goes to the outside, and no, TY's lost it on the marbles. Oh, around he goes. Arsenal Blade goes through. And just before it digs in the gravel, gets it going and gets going again. Blakeney, unfortunately, in 8th place, having a horrible race in this one so far, but hopefully things might pick up nearer the end. So there's SHAREx, and he's pulling away from Jamo now. He's got quite a big gap to Stevie ahead, and all a bit more spread out now. A bit like LMP3 in real life at Donington. This is what I've based it on, except in this, there's actually more cars than LMP3, believe it or not, even though there's 8. In LMP3 this last year there was only about 6 or 7 cars, so not many, and only about 4 finished. So LMP3 trying to get on the rise, but they've tried to put it in as a replacement for some of the GT classes, but personally myself I prefer the GT3 cars, but the LMP3 cars are quite nice to drive as they are, and I thought we'd do a bit of a replica around Donington Park for this round of the championship as SHAREx goes onto the grass slightly, going down the crane of curves. Lovely set of corners this. Obviously I am quite biased myself because I do marshal at Donington Park myself, and I love this track. A bit outdated on this game now though, because the spark plug's no longer there at the bottom of the hill where Starkey's Bridge is, and also the infield is now complete as SHAREx, speaking of completing, he completes his task of taking out a marker board. So SHAREx takes out a marker board there. It just shows you how hard he's trying to push to gain on the others. Don't think that was intentional, just trying to use all the tracking a bit more. But SHAREx the man with the pace at the minute. Neil Farmack 2.9 seconds ahead of Stevie, just there he is in the background. So Neil Farmack doing well, getting his head down in this. We're almost halfway through the race on lap 5 out of 10. So we're at the halfway point. Neil Farmack is in the lead, Stevie is in second, SHAREx is in third at the top of the hill. There he is in the Ligier, very comfy in that car. SHAREx round Goddard's, Jamo in the other Ligier, again going round Goddard's. They're not teammates, they're just in the similar coloured cars. SHAREx and Jamo both running independent Jamo running independent in this championship, SHAREx in team blue. Unfortunately Seek can't make it, the Belgians not be able to make it this time. Lilian due to internet connections, Seek due to work commitments. So again, we all try and work around it as much as we can, but again, real life does get in the way sometimes, and it can't be avoided. As we've got Arzadar there, I think he's slowly being caught by TY. TY just coming down the hill behind him as goes through the old hairpin. Nice line there from Arzadar. A little bit of a tad wide, but again, can't be helped sometimes. So again, TY coming up now in the Ginetta. I think he's in a Ginetta. Yeah, he's in a Ginetta there. Coming up the top of the hill, over the rise, through Coppice Corner, down the straight into the draft, drafting down towards the next corner. Let's have a look, and there's Bidzster. Here he is in. Bidzster's in the Ginetta, there he is. I think TY and Arzadar behind. Yeah, Bidzster's in the Ginetta. You can see the small nose cone, slightly longer body, and then Arzadar and TY in the Ligiers. I do beg your pardon. Just got mixed up there for a moment. But there, Arzadar and TY at the Melbourne Loop. TY a lot closer than they were last lap. Might be looking for a move maybe into Redgate or down the bottom of the hill into the old hairpin. But Arzadar does the classic mistake that most people do, is it's quite steep and there's a lot of adverse camber on Goddard's. It doesn't look like it, but it actually does bank away towards the end of the corner, and it does catch a lot of people out in racing, and it has done over the years. It's a very hard corner to get right. as they come down the crane of curves now. Still close together. TY runs a bit wide on the second part of the crane of curves, but through the old hairpin, RZR with a good line through there. Meanwhile, Bidzster's now ahead of Jamo. Jamo's gone off somewhere. Jamo's made a mistake. There he is. There's Jamo. So Jamo makes a mistake there, and Bidzster up to 4th place. So we missed that, but we'll get a replay on it. So as we come back from that, Cyrex now in 2nd place. He's passed Stevie as well. So Cyrex on the move now. He's got 3.6 seconds. Roughly 3 to 4 seconds to Neil. Has he got enough time to catch him? Because he is on a roll here. But again, Neil Farmack with quite good pace up front. As he sliding the car into Goddard's. Slides the rear end in, then catches it and gets the car straight and relies on a bit of understeer to get it through the rest of Goddard's. That's the way you do it. So again, pack a bit spread, but again, with 8 cars and LMP3 cars, I didn't expect much else really. As we watch Bidzster coming into Redgate corner up on the curbs. I was just holding my breath there just to see if he'd go up on the curb a bit more, but now Bidzster coming down the crane of curves now. Loves this circuit, it's his home track, and slides the car out onto the brakes, into the old hairpin. Beautiful line through there. Now let's watch Jamo behind. Let's see what Jamo's line's like through here, and that's pretty good as well. Jamo with a good line through there as well, so he's pushing back on now after making a mistake earlier. RZR and TY still very close. This is the battle on track to watch at the minute as they go into McLean's onto the brakes. TY looking a little bit up the inside, but RZR managed to keep ahead as they go through Coppice. Again, another hard corner because it comes up blind. You have to go up over the crest, try and, as the car goes light, you turn in, and then all of a sudden you get grip halfway through the corner, and you've got to count the oversteer and understeer that the car gives you into the Foster's chicane. Beautiful line through there from both. Again, another hard bit of track with a little bump in the middle. You can't really see it from this camera. Into the Melbourne loop. RZR looks like he's taking a very defensive line there. Goes a bit wide. TY has a little look, but no way through there as they come up the hill towards Goddard's. On the brakes. And again, RZR sliding the rear of that car in, trying to do what Cyrex does, and it's kind of working, to be honest. But TY gets a good run out, but again, he'll not be close enough on the straight to gain anything. To Redgate, Jamo's lost it, and RZR's there, and oh no! RZR contact, and I don't know if that was avoidable or not, but it's such a shame there. We'll get a replay on that action. Here's a replay on board with Jamo on lap 9 when he spun at Redgate. So here we are into the corner. It's too fast into it. The back end's going round on us. Then just as we think we've recovered it, round she goes the other way, and there's RZR on the grass already, and bang! Nowhere to go. He was running wide as it were, and then Jamo just in the wrong place, wrong time. Here's a replay of that now on board with RZR. So here we go into Redgate. We go slightly wide there, and then Jamo's just spun. Wrong place, wrong time. Contact's made. We could not slow down on the grass whatsoever, and TY gets involved as well. Okay, now here's the TY view of that incident. So into Redgate, RZR goes wide onto the grass. Jamo's there, and then RZR Blade can't go anywhere, and then TY's an innocent bystander, tries to get out of the way, but wrong place, wrong time. As we look at Jamo, where's TY? He's at the top of the hill somewhere. Jamo, I think, has disconnected as well, because we can't see Jamo on screen, so Jamo must have either quit or disconnected, either or. So Jamo disappears, and Blakeney goes up into 7th position, so Jamo disappears, and Blakeney up into 7th position. Like a magic trick, Jamo just disappears. So TY into 7th, RZR 5th, but I would imagine with a lot of damage on that car. So Blakeney could be in with a couple little gifts here if they have to pit for damage, which I would imagine they have to, because RZR Blade's car looking in very second-hand condition. And that'll, we've got full damage on in this championship as well. TY will probably have a bit as well, unless he's just spanning avoidance, but again, the replay will have answered those questions. as we come up to the down to the Melbourne Loop. So Arzadar, I would imagine, will go in the pits, or he'll try and soldier on this last lap. I would, if it was me, I'd just soldier on through the last lap, but and that's what he's doing. Arzadar Blade's just going to continue, try and get around this last lap, and so is TY, but Blaney could be closing up here. Got to watch out for that. Meanwhile, on his last lap now, Neil Farmack in control of this race from start to finish. Done very well so far. He's lost about a second to Cyrex over the last couple of laps, but again, that's not much. It's not going to be enough for Cyrex to catch up unless Neil absolutely bins it somewhere between now and the flag. But that's the chicane done with. Coming down towards the Melbourne Loop, you can see Cyrex with the lights on, just trying to intimidate Neil Farmack a bit when he looks in his mirrors. But round the beer can at the bottom of the hill, around the Melbourne Loop, up the hill towards Goddard's for the last time. Neil Farmack is about to win race 1 here at Donington Park of round 6 in the LMP3. Neil Farmack wins. Well done to Neil Farmack. Good win there. Cyrex are very happy with second place through that. Stevie will be happy with third. A nice podium position and more points in the bag. Bidzster home in fourth. One step closer to that championship. He's not far off it, but we'll get you the results of that later on. Arzadar Blade coming up towards the last corner after the Melbourne Loop, so Melbourne Loop and then up towards the last corner. TY there in 6th place. Blakeney closing up. Wonder if we're going to get time to get time in this replay to see that to the end. Arzadar Blade comes into Goddard's and he's on the grass. He's going wide. That damage really taking its toll, but Arzadar Blade comes across the line in 5th place. TY is just going to hold on for one more corner for 6th place. You're not far off the end now. As we come across the line, TY is going to get it. Blakeney is going to be in 7th position. So well done then to them two. So there's... Okay guys, let's take you through the results then. So it was Neil Farmack who was the winner in that race by 2.3 seconds from Cyrex. Then it was Stevie in 3rd. Bidzster finishes in 4th. Arzadar in 5th. TY 6th. And Blakeney in 7th position. Unfortunately, Jamo disappeared shortly after that incident. So there's your winner around here somewhere. Where is it? There he is. There's Neil Farmack. There's your winner. So we'll see you guys for race 2. Take care.